So my name's James Knight and I live in a city in southern China called Shenzhen. And I've been thinking about an interesting thing about Chinese culture recently, and I thought that I'd like to talk to you about it, and that's smoking. And if you were to come here, you would notice that probably nearly every single man smokes, and it's a lot less with women, but there's still women that do smoke here. But I've noticed recently that Chinese women prefer to, vape using the drop pods. The drop pod vape pens, and they have little cartridges you put them in, removable cartridges. So it is a very interesting subject in China, I think, just because it's so embedded in the culture here. In Shenzhen, technically there's a smoking ban on public places. Anywhere which is indoors, you can't smoke. Hello. However, this is quite often ignored, and in China you can more or less smoke wherever you want. You can smoke in a lift, you can smoke in a restaurant. I've not seen this happen often, but sometimes I'll be walking through a large mall here in Shenzhen and I will notice that there'll be someone smoking inside the mall. So, smoking really is a right of way here, and I think it's so important culturally. It's a way of making friends, it's a way of meeting new people, that it's just a huge thing here. Now, I will admit that I am an ex-smoker, so I am also guilty of being hooked on smoking, and I smoked for many years. And for a lot of years I vaped. I did sub-ohming, where you have a tank that will produce lots and lots of vapor when you vape. But I quit about 5 months ago using nicotine patches, which served me well because I haven't smoked since. So, obviously I would recommend anyone to quit. You can't justify it by saying vaping is healthier because, well, I don't really know if it is or it isn't. So, yeah, more recently, Chinese people have definitely seemed to have gotten into vaping. In China, they will use drop pods, but when I first came to China, no one really vaped and everyone just smoked. But the drop pods have gotten more popular. They banned electronic smoking, like vaping, on the internet. So online retail companies can't sell you e-liquids or anything to do with vaping. However, I think it's still very easy to buy tobacco online. Cigarettes and tobacco in this country is very affordable. So I do find it very interesting how, the demographics of smoking, it's like almost every single man in the country will smoke, but then only a tiny minority of women will smoke, and a lot of women find it extremely repelling. And I'm not going to say that this is a bad thing or whatever, because every country has its habit, doesn't it? I mean, for example, in the UK, binge drinking is a massive problem, and it costs our emergency services millions, maybe billions every year, getting called out to whatever kind of crazy binge drinking related problems happening in wherever it is at the time. So, that's a plight on my society, and every society has these problems. 1 million people in this country die every year from smoking, which is more than 200 times higher than the total number of COVID deaths in this country. And obviously this country does deserve a round of applause for how it dealt with the pandemic, and it would just be good to see the amount of effort that they put into that health problem, the pandemic, if they put it into the smoking problem, because I care about longevity of life, and the Chinese people have been good hosts to me while I've been in this country, and of course I want them to live long, fulfilling lives. So hopefully soon China can really address this problem and really try and fix it and have a good anti-smoking push, stop a lot of people from smoking. So I hope that happens. So yeah, just something I wanted to tell you about, just because it's interesting, isn't it? Because in our countries You know, smoking's almost something to look down upon now, but here it's, you know, something that, you know, is a right of way. So I hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.